Hello everyone, this is Esan. In this video we are going to use C++ with the Stanford C++ library to compute the summation of a few numbers. So first we want to say that we want to print to the console that this is a program which computes the sum of few values. So then we put an end line, and then we want to say that integer sum is equal to, say, for get values and calculate sum. So this is a top-down design approach. We don't have this function, so it will take some integers. So in this case it will take 5 integers, and so it will take 5 integer values and compute their sum and save the value as an integer, or return the value as an integer and save it into the integer variable sum. And then it will print the sum of values is sum and endl, and that's it. Now the good thing about top-down design is we can instantly test this code. So what we can do is that we can write a function which is get integer values, and it will take as input, or input argument will be a sum, an integer, which are number of values to add, and what it will do is it will return, say for instance, just for testing purposes, 0. Now the good thing is here we have defined the function get integer and calculate sum. It takes in a parameter which is an integer called number of values to add, and it returns 0 in our case, but when we are actually done coding it will return an integer which is the appropriate sum. So now let's run this code to see if it works. Okay, let's wait, and it does. So basically what it does is it says that this is a program which computes the sum of few values, and the sum of values is 0 in our case, which will change shortly. We will just change and put a space over here. So let's do that. So we put a space over here, we save it. Now let's do this get value thing. So for what we want to do is we want to get the number of values to add sequentially and add them up. So we want to save our result. The summation is a sum and initialize it to 0. Then we want to use a for loop because we know how many times we want to get the values. Here in our case we want to get the values this amount of time. So we say I is equal to 0, which is int I is equal to 0, I is less than this value, and then I say I plus plus, and then we do this. And what we need to do is we want to say to the user that give us the next value, which is we say next, and we do endl, and then we need to put a space here, and what we do is we want to get the value from the integer. So we say int value is equal to get integer, and then we place this, and then we add sum is equal to previous sum value plus the new sum value is equal to previous sum value plus value, and so this will iterate, and at the end we return the sum. And now in order to get this function to work, we have to include the file which has information about how this function is coded up. So we include that file, which is symbio.h, And if we run this code, let's run it, and get integer was not defined in scope, so get integer, maybe there is, let's go and check this file, maybe I'm doing something wrong. Let's see, get char, so I think I understand it. I need to put g small, so let's go here, I put not capital G but small g, and we run this. It's building, it's running, so we are giving the first value, so we want to give 5 values. So we want to give first value to be 4, the second value to be 5, the second value to be 6, then the seventh value to be 7. So 4 plus 5 is 9, 9 plus 6 is 15, 15 plus 7 is 22. Let's do enter, and we say 12, 22 plus 12 is 34, we enter, and the sum of the value is 34. So the program works. But one design concept was that the prompt was going to the next line. The easiest way to solve it is just remove the endl from here, and we run it again, and we wait, and we are going to give 5 values: 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 12, and that is 34. So it works fine. It takes 5 integers as input, and it sums them up and saves the value of the sum in a variable called sum, and then returns that value as an integer. And so another way we could change this was we just could write the prompt here instead of using cout, which does something, which actually does the same thing. So if we run it, we'll see that it is the same thing. So let's do it: 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 12, and it's 34. So let's see if we can change anything else here. So if we want to change it to 2 values, so the user will provide 2 values as input, and we'll return the result of the summation of these 2 values. We run R, and we say 2 plus 3, and the result is 5. So in the next video, we are going to show how we can compute the average of any integer numbers.